Oh, there it is. I wonder why they're using John's voice line. I wonder why. Jeez, so supportive of them to buy your voice line, John.
You don't hate the game,
So supportive.
you know? Yeah, they're so supportive, these players. Wow, they truly care. They truly care. RCY's got my back. There you go.
You're like a sales tactician, you are, Jonathan. In another line, you could have been a great salesman. You could have. Here we go. Wildcard.
Oh.
They're heading down towards the south into the Radiant jungle, where you could find a Kashi, but he will break the smoke and immediately runs away. And they will not be able to get within range for anything like a glimpse back here onto a Kashi. So a nice smoke break from him. Nothing to amount here for Wildcard, apart from the bounty runes, of course. And it does seem like chances are Nemesis just might completely avoid the fight altogether. It does seem like the level 1 timings of Wildcard are just a little bit scarier. Wildcard, though, is still going to try and posture aggressively. Mac. Copper Nether Blast doesn't really get the bounty rune either, so a nice little start here for Wildcard. 3-1. A little bit of a bonus for them. Meanwhile, Yamson, he's going to take a bit of, in fact, a lot of damage on his way out. So Nemesis just not allowing him the freebie into the walk back up to the top lane. They are going to just kind of abuse him and force that TP. And gosh, you'd love to find another kill into this Tide straight off the bat if you could, but you're playing Like and Snap, so chances are you aren't going to find that kind of damage.
Not quite yet. Maybe by the time you have the cookie and you can poke away just a tad bit, the Wolves aren't going to be as effective in that lane. As again, you're into Pugner, you're into Tide with Anchor Smash. The damage just isn't there for right-click trades. Taking a gander at that mid, as we're seeing right now, there is some big potential for trades. RCY does commit for the Shadow Strike, so chances are we are going to see the 3-1-1 build. And the sentry has been dropped by Mac. But the one thing here for Mac is that Sandstorm cooldown is pretty significant in lane. Every time he tries to walk up, trying to leverage that caustic finale, RCY is ready with the trades back, and this can be a rougher time for the Sand King if you're not careful. Again, the range advantage is already big for RCY. He's got a lot of good poke back. The bondage makes it a little bit hard as well, returning some of that spell damage back, so it hurts Mac equally, kind of forcing some regen out onto him as well. Rune control is going to be a key part. Again, this first power rune is going to be a big spike, and that's where you really shine on Nemesis. Like, this laning phase can go as back and forth as it wants, but you get maybe a faster 6 on Mac, and you lead into the 6-minute timing with rotations from a Mirana and a Snapfire. Things can go crazy very fast on mid, if you have that room to kind of rotate around here for Nemesis.
Well, I'm just very curious, like, looking at these, the opposing carries, like, neither one's queued up a Helm of the Dom this game, so the very least, Yamson's definitely not going for one based off the fact that he's queued up Radiance. Meanwhile, though, we haven't seen much of a queue up of anything for... No, he is going. He's queued up the Helm of the Iron Will. So it looks like chances are he is going to go down that route. And there's Johnny's Fire coming in as we need him. As Mac's going to jump out of there. He'll be just fine for now. But it is a bit of a rougher lane here for Mac. What I was going to say, John, I would have anticipated Yamson would be going for the Helm of the Dom instead of the Luna this game. But in fact, Yamson, he's in trouble. Yamson being chased down at the moment. Wolves will not be enough to get the job done. They'll leave him be. Meanwhile, Jing does also end up getting taken down. In the meantime, so they do at least get something for their Troubler's speed. Just focuses on the opposing support.
He's just able to blast away. No one here can really clear out. The Nether Wardens drop down. You don't really have a little Shredder up on Jing just yet either. So Speed can just get aggressive, drop it forward. He knows he has good poke. And he is relatively durable at this point. The Wolves don't hit hard enough at level 2 just yet, although they are poking well enough. I will say for Yamson, I think not going for the Dominator is an all-right choice, considering that he is trying to go for a bit more in terms of greed, trying to go for the Radiance, wants the casual Morbid Mask to just have some lifesteal on hand, not committing for something like the full Vlads. It's fair. I think the Dominator in this case will take a bit too much time away, and he farms quick enough as is, that it feels a bit unnecessary. He's got the durability on hand as a Tide. I think doubling down on that durability, it's not a hero that needs the Dominator as a crutch, right? Like, it is a hero that has its durability already and just needs to get its items fast. The Dom, I mean, it still helps to an extent, but maybe not as significant for something like the Tide in comparison to other heroes.
No, I suppose that's a fair point, Jonathan. So the Radiance probably will help a little bit more anyway in dealing with these Lycan units. as you do go through the game. Pretty quiet across the map. Only one death so far up that top lane, and Speed and Jing going at it once again, but Speed certainly winning out the trade in the harassment at the moment. 4-minute water rune's going to spawn up. They do get it for RCY, and Mac is in a very awkward position now. Oh, RCY. I was not anticipating he'd actually outclick Mac in that instance, but he gets there. And with that, Mac still desperately trying for something. Maybe a deny. Can he get it? He cannot. RCY will secure his life. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Akashi also dropping low, being chased down, gets hit by the blood grenade. Bignum hits him from a mile away. Horrible start here for Nemesis. Oh boy, I think RCY's had a chat with the boys, John. I think he's done some convincing here. He's found a route into this game.
Yeah, they're using Chuplak against them. This is a terrible time for Nemesis right now, and when the power of those voice lines get turned against you. And it's an awesome start right now for the side of Wildcard. They've had every single lane pretty much winning out in farm. No real contest on in terms of stopping this farm build-up from any of these heroes. You've got your two tanky side laners just getting this build-up they'd want. No feasible kill threat just yet, even with all the magic damage. Akashi?
Oh, bottom. They're trying for Akashi again. This time Jing is going to make the rotation over, so they should be able to find maybe Fade instead. Cookie is going to land. Fade still running. They are also trying to pick off Bignum, but Bignum is perfectly fine as they hit a blood grenade. But it doesn't matter. No kill to come. This rotation sadly will amount to nothing. And of course Akashi, it's not like it feels any safer down in this bot lane. Like they're going to reset and come right back. It's not a fun time for this Lunar at the moment.
No. The one big thing you do have going on here for Nemesis is the fact that their triangle was stacked up. A few of those stacked were taken away already, but the Ancients are still built up. That's something Akashi can easily clear, or Mac can easily clear for like a quick blink ags kind of timing here. They have lost control of the map already. Very early on, I was expecting Nemesis with their rotations to be stronger, but they're ceding control into these power runes. Regen rune for RCY, he can just go diving.
Gonna try for Jing. Jing does get caught here. Bignum able to secure a nice easy kill. Or even get the 6-minute power rune for RCY. And once again, Jonathan, I mean, a Wildcard, they're off to a brilliant start here in this game one. You really couldn't have asked for much more. And the thing is, like, with the heroes they've drafted, like, you've got a Doom who's going to snowball out of control within, 20 minutes. You've got a Tide who's going to be unkillable if he gets off to a good start, which he has. And you've got a Luna who's currently pretty behind when it comes to the farm department.
Yeah, they're just diving onto mid. Sorry, I was just watching this little trade. Mac standing under tower with Sandstorm, and they don't care.
They're going to take a quick tier 1 as well. Oh, no, they don't. Nice arrow here from Eris. Does get rid of the siege creep. It's quite scary every time you've got that siege creep up, because Speed, he does make those rotations to just spam out Nether Blast into the tier 1 tower. And, well, it's just classic Speed shenanigans, Jonathan. This is everything you can learn on the YouTube channel. It's amazing.
And it is, I don't know why Speed's not spamming that out every time he's making a play, making a rotation out. They spam, hey, it's your boy Speed here.
I'm surprised he hasn't brought up the Jungle Veno yet, John. Jungle Veno is it's a very popular YouTube video on Speed's channel. I don't recommend you watch it, John.
Don't tempt him.
I don't recommend you watch that. Anyway, Eris jumping in big, should be dead, and he will be. Nice little pickup, and even given the kill over to Akashi is going to feel very nice for him.
That's a shot in the arm, something they desperately need, but I think Wildcard's still getting everything they could ask for. A free lane for Yamson. Top, you've got RCY just getting activity now, and there's really no feasible threat just yet to stop this. I mean, RCY still has a Sonic Wave here.
Oh, Akashi. Yeah, he's going to be very careful here. Akashi, not a tanky boy at all. Problem is, they're going to lose this tier 1 bottom tower. Again, Speed's just going to keep spamming out Nether Blast. RCY hasn't left the building yet either. They want to drag Akashi back in, and he has made its appearance. Fade going to get hit by Cookie. RCY waiting. Sonic Wave perfectly landing on 2. They'll bring in even more now, trying to help out Akashi on this Luna, but it's not looking good. Mac is down. Glimpse him back. There goes Akashi. They even found Jing. And RCY celebrating against his own brethren. Shameless behavior from RCY. And John X5 for that matter.
I love it.
Both of you are
Thank you,
shameless.
RCY. Thank you, RCY. My boy from NA to here playing against his own brethren. Just like he left us for America when he was 12 or 13 or whatever. Good lad.
Oh.
That's exactly what you want to see. 1-7, 4K lead for the side of Wildcard. And I have to say, they're not under any pressure. Like, Yamson is still having the freest game I've ever seen for a Tide. It's going to be a nice quick run to the Radiance for him. And when the Radiance is up, you know, these dominated creeps, these wolves aren't going to do too much. Your right-click damage on Akashi and Lycan just shoots down. Your output on Mac is still pretty significant, but he's so far behind right now. Bottom network core. He has some stacks to play with, but needs to find even more farm.
Oh, there goes Eris now. Another nice little pickup. This time Speed will take that one on the Pugna. Just look at the net worth graph right now, John. I mean, all three cores from Wildcard sitting at the top as they're going to just jump in mid lane onto Jing, who get glimpsed back by Bigman. This is nothing for him to do.
This is
A
terrible.
Wildcard, they're playing this perfectly, and they're just not relenting on the psychological warfare either, which is kind of amazing. Because it's Wildcard, John. Yeah, you can imagine the smiles on their faces as they're spamming these voice lines. It just sick of you thinking about it.
Oh yeah, the only guy not jumping in on this is really just Speed. He's cool, calm, collected. You know, thinking about what YouTube video comes out next. You know, he's analyzing. You know, he's figuring out what times to clip. This is a lot of content for our boy Speed, Mikey, and he's not wasting that chance while playing some pretty fine Dota as well. And that's the key. It's multitasking. It's thinking about the game and the bigger picture here. 1-9, 5K lead, Wildcard just crushing down Nemesis. And Nemesis, I mean, look, there's a timing here they can play for, right? The blink of Mac is the big one. I would argue into the Ags is probably when you're really happy, but the blink alone might lead to some setup. You know, you can start to rely on arrow follow-ups. You can start to rely on some of that burst damage to start to kick in. It just feels like by the time that blink is up, you're playing into the Radiance of Yamson. You're playing into the Blade Mail of Fade, along with the full Blade Mail of RCY already set to come out relatively soon. Chances are you're just going to be dying to your own spells here. And it's still not a clear shot if you actually find that kill with how tanky all of these heroes are. It's just a hard game for Nemesis. If they can play around with this blink timing and line into that level 6 where they get Mortimer's Kisses out, they can start to, you know, get burrow strikes in with arrows and kisses on top and hit and run. And that's the recovery process for Nemesis. It's just, they need to seed ground. They're not ready. They just can't do that just yet.
Well, they can do really nothing right now. It's a very dire situation on the side of Nemesis. At the very least, like, looking back at this Luna, Akashi's got the helm of the Dom up now, and he's just, you know, he's chosen a creep that just follows him around to make matters even better, John. You know, you got the Alpha Wolf, no need to micro anything. Very, very nice.
RCY is so evil. He's so evil. He used this illusion room just to... No, he just used this illusion room just to block the camps. Just to block it, maybe even deny off a double damage. Doesn't quite do that, but man, he's evil.
Oh, the glimpse! It was too early. It was too early, but RCY, he's going to jump in anyway. Mac is down. They'll find Speed at the very least, but it's not a good trade at all for Nemesis and Mac. He's just too important to the squad right now, John. He's got the blink up, but gets really nothing done but pick up the root, and yeah, it's just not going well. Things are not going well for your Nemesis.
Not quite, but by the numbers, that's a favorable trade for Nemesis. Speed was worth more than Mac is. That's the state of the game and how far ahead Wildcard is. You'll take that. You know, Raven getting that extra gold.
Nice TP. Nice TP from Akash. But like you said, I mean, Speed dying is actually worth more gold than Mac, which is kind of sad, but it certainly allows Nemesis to actually have some comeback potentials. They are going to smoke up as 4.
Dire structures are fortified.
Kashi. Moving in. Fade. Nice easy target if they can find it. Jump is there. Static Storm was dropped to boot. In fact, I said he's easy, but he's not that easy. He's just too tanky. He won't die. Akashi the one to go down. And here we go. Speed will move in. The Decrepify setup. Eris is gone. Jing is gone. And Mac.
No, I mean, it's just circling back to what we were talking about. If you get that jump in, you have to get that full commit. Mac could not commit. He didn't drop the epicenter. He didn't manage to get anything really true there. He played it safe, and without that burst, it's just not there.
Why didn't he dominate a creep, John? Why did he not dominate a creep? This is my problem with this home of the Dom build on this Luna. Why is there no dominated creep when he's dead? You've got to maximize. You've got to farm with it. Do something.
Yeah, he is now, at the least. He's got it.
Yes.
You know? We'll see how much he gets out of it. At the very least, Raven has his full Overlord up as well. So you have some utility, but 2 to 13 with this kind of lineup that just wants to fight, you're not finding these fights you'd want. You have to play into 2 tanky heroes. You need to try to find this backline that's also really annoying to try to kill off.
Akashi, it was a bit of a bait here onto Akashi. They'll jump in, they'll try to snipe in the Sonic Wave. They're gonna miss a nice cookie from Jing. Will save the Luna. Maybe not so much for him though, but Max coming in with an epicenter. He'll move on to Speed, who does get caught out. Jing is actually still walking out of there with this Moonlight Shadow. They don't kill him. Jing will survive. Speed will die. And then ultimately Akashi, I mean, he should have just been dead. Yeah, had that cookie not connected, that would have been it for him.
Just manages to bail out in the tail end of it. And they still, again, find a pretty nice pickoff. Killing off Speed. It's not insignificant gold coming out here for Nemesis and trying to even this game out. And that's all they kind of want to do. Sit back, try to recover, try to find some freebies when they can. Don't give away too much in these engagements. And it's Wildcard that maybe has to measure it a little bit, right? Like, it's not that they're overcommitting here on Wildcard, to be fair. Yamson's still getting all the space in the world. Radiant's up in 100 gold. And then you have this Tidehunter joining in. Again, doubling your issues here on the side of Nemesis. I would be keen on seeing once the Auras are up for Fade. I think this pipe is actually what ruins this for Nemesis here.
Make a quick jump in on Mac. There is some help around though, Jing. He's there with the Scatter Blast. They're even bringing in a bit more now with the Lycan. The pop the wolf form, Arcane picked up. They do get a bit of a route onto RCY. Now the jump in with the Doom as well, catching Jing. So Jing will die. Looking for a little bit more here, Wildcard. They're unable to find it apart from Raven's creep, which is still running. He'll make it out. Although I can't say the same for Eris. He's gonna die. RCY in a wicked 6th streak.
At the least, again, you're only losing your supports at this point. That's Doom committed out. Mind you, there is still Ravage, Sonic Wave. You still have Static Storm as well, so Wildcard could still look for the engagements, but they're busy playing tag with creeps. Like, they can't get a steady shove in onto these tier 2s just yet. They're not able to really find a wider team fight they'd likely want with all of this AoE control. And Nemesis is playing smart, just splitting the map apart as best as they can. Maybe a pickoff opportunity for Mac on some sports, but
Bignum just casually running in. Speed is behind him with the life drain though, and Mac's the one caught.
oh no.
Oh, you might want to drop the GGs after that. I'll tell you what, that's like Bignum just walked in and just set up a kill onto your mid laner like that. That's your pause 4, just disruptor, dude. Disruptor onto the Sanking, and that happens.
There's just no damage.
Good.
It's just Mac alone, and he's still level 11. Just level 1 epicenter, not enough output on the Sand King. No ags, no little stingers flying out. There's just no burst. Again, you have this backline that can just save over and over again in Speed. Even Bignum, if Speed was up front, a glimpse here and there, a Static Storm, a Kinetic Field. Oh,
another freebie. Jing eventually going to realize they're right behind him. Nothing he can really do to survive as Speed will take another kill for himself on the Pugna. Of course, RCY still unkillable rather in this game. 1-8-0-7. Currently on the Queen of Pain, and really just doesn't look like he'll be dying anytime soon. And, well, as for Nemesis, I mean, you look for pathways to try and come back into this game. I don't see Mac doing it at this point unless he lands a real big epicenter with the Ags up. Akashi, of course, the world's on his shoulders right now, but he's just got so much road to walk on this Luna to get to a state where he's going to be a problem. And he is going the classic Ags Eclipse build, which you could argue doesn't scale quite as well going into the ultra late. but it certainly feels like an item they need right now as Matt. He's going to jump in. Fade has been caught, but he's a very tanky target. And the blade mail return. Akashi, no. Jump in for more. Jing's being chased. Raven, he's going to get doomed up as well. At least he might fight, but no speed with the save and the decrepify. He's got life drain to boot. They can't kill anyone. Just get out of there, Raven. Just run. Meanwhile, RCY, he's still cleaning up the mid lane. And so sadly, Akashi found out that you can't eclipse into a blade mail, John, because it hurts a lot. It hurts quite a lot.
I'm actually surprised Akashi's not opting for maybe a quick BKB here, right? Like, he's going back for the Manta, he's going for the Ags afterwards, like you mentioned, that kind of build up, that high tempo Luna build up for early fights. But without a BKB, you're just a sitting duck. Yeah, it's just so much output, and you have to think about this as well. This fight breaks out without the pipe yet on Fade. Once he has a pipe, I mean, there's really nothing to be done here. There's no output whatsoever. That was pretty much Eclipse onto 1 or just 2, and even then it's just not enough output. You again didn't manage to get Mac and his commitment in with the Epicenter fully. Like, all of these parts have to connect. All of these ultimates have to connect to just find that one kill. And if you don't, I mean, this is just what's going to happen every time. Again, there's an incoming pipe for Fade, just lacking the recipe. There's an incoming full Eternal Shroud coming out for Yamsun. No one's going to die to this magic.
Oh, Ravage as well. Mac, he's not going to give the TP away, of course. Yamsun's been holding out the whole game to just pop Ravage, and of course he'll see the mid sanking and he goes, thank you very much. Take a free Tormy while they're there. Wildcard. Well, they definitely woke up on the right side of the bed today, Jonathan. Very, very strong performance so far in this game 1. I mean, mind you, it's still, you're still basically halfway through the game. You still have a risk of throwing it back the way of Nemesis if you're not too careful. Eris, he's going to be spotted out. RCY will have the help of the Glimpse to ensure they find the kill. And Bignum will be the one to secure. But it is looking like a rather challenging comeback for Nemesis if they are to make one.
That it is. Again, it feels like you need to get at least the Ags up and Mac. You need to make the Sand King comfy enough to come in with the Epicenter as well. The movements from Nemesis is just, it's not connecting to that together. Maybe you get the Kessis out, maybe you get Eclipse out. It's been harder for Mac to feel confident in coming in with the Epi, as he has had multiple attempts that just fell flat on his face. Still 2 parts away from the Ags here for our Sand King on Mac. And maybe at that point, again, we need to see something happen. Right? Like, you need to start seeing some damage fly up. We see Akashi queuing up the BKB as he finishes up his Manta as well. And that would be a start, and that would force the Doom out onto him.
They're going to try now. They're going to try to fade, but they miss everything. They've missed everything. Life drain out from speed, buying a bit of time. They'll still find the kill. Sonic Wave, though, onto Mac. Going to be quite painful for him as RCY still chasing. Meanwhile, Akashi in the middle of the Static Storm, just getting life drained while he's at it. Raven still rushing around. RCY will take down Eris. And it's once again Raven, the real lone survivor. I mean, Mac also made it out, but it's just such a tough game. Even with the Fade kill, they just can't do it quick enough.
No. It's just a little bit too slow, and that's all their ultimates committed out except for Eclipse. Ravage is coming off cooldown if they want to fight here again on the side of Wildcard. There's not much to wait for. Raven is doing a ton of work with his Nullifier, but it's him against the world. Really, he's jumping into the backline while Wildcard's looking elsewhere. Now that they know Nullifier's up, they're likely going to try to paint a target now on Raven instead of anyone else. He is the most credible threat. Highest farm on Nemesis. Again, he's the one progressing. He's the one with damage at this point in the game. Whether or not he can keep that up, we'll have to see, because it's going to be a full Crimson Guard coming in next for Fade. Just more barriers, more damage block. You saw how much the pipe did. Raven's right click was really the thing that cleaned up that engagement. And a full Crimson Guard just slows that down once more. Maybe buys you enough time for a cleaner response here from Wildcard. 6 to 25, some important kills for Nemesis to find, but they need more. They need so much more than just that.
No TPing away from Jing. are going to be thrown out. At least does land on the co-op, so you at least deny the kill away from RCY, I guess, but they still do give it away in the end. And Wildcard, unrelenting, they just want more. They're not done. They know how strong they are right now. They just want to fight. Sadly for them, no fights to be had as of yet. You could also just think about going Roshan, quite frankly, as Wildcard right now. You know, it won't be the fastest Roshan in the world, but they certainly could do it. In fact, never mind, because they're looking for a fight. They found Eris. He'll leap towards the high ground at least, but RCY says, no, sir. Not today. They will take down the Mirana. RCY on his 14th kill of the game. Jumping in for another time. Is he going to give a kill away? I don't think so, Jonathan. I just don't think so. It's RCY. He's been a real menace, John. Involved in 26 of the 28 kills from Wildcard.
Yeah, he's been doing that work. You know, I was talking to Yopaj, and he was like, yeah, he had to give it to RCY. He was just so good in those qualifiers. He's showing up here today as well in this first game of this day for this series. And there's just no answers. Nemesis don't have that hard control. And if they are going to try to control RCY, it has to be that all-in commitment. Mac has his hags. Maybe now you'd want to wait for a little bit more. They actually just go for the Echo Saber on Raven instead of the BKB as well.
The Vision, Akashi. There's nothing he can do here, John. He was farming on the Vision. He'll go for a run, but there's no escaping Fade, surely. They'll pop the Moonlight, but it's not gonna make the difference. Is now mid lane. Mac trying to jump in. Does actually find Yamsun, so a pretty big kill. RCY, he has jumped in, but Sonic Wave still 4 seconds away. He'll take down at least Mac with him. Wanting more. He'll move on to Raven now. Raven, he'll get glimpsed back into the kinetic field, into the static storm now being locked down. Still waiting with the Sonic Wave. It will come out. It's still not enough though, as Raven still trying to fight. But there's nothing he can do. RCY, he's not done yet. Call the GG. FF is what Raven says. FF, we're done. Get us out of here. RCY sends a message, Jonathan. My goodness.